Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm JP Thong, and welcome to today's Thursday Paranormal Tales. Um, excuse me. So I'm glad that all of you have managed to join us because we're having an event right now, online actually. You can only watch it online in KFR. Today is Lama Tsongkhapa's day. Lama Tsongkhapa was the patron saint of our monastic university called Ganden Monastery. So I think people are still watching the live broadcast because our pastors are now lighting candles in KFR. But nevertheless, it's still okay because the show must still go on. Okay, so thank you very much once again for tuning in. Now, today again, we will have Miss Phng Li Kim out in this show. This is actually the last of our special edition. So let's have Phng Li Kim. Hi, Li Kim. Hi,
Hi,
welcome back again. Thank you very
thank
much
you. Thank
for coming
you.
back. So yeah, everybody loves you and your episodes. Now, from the last episode, we watched part one
Yes,
of your trip to
to
Taiwan.
Thorn. Mm.
Yes, and there was this medium with Tai Gong, and you spoke about that, and
Hmm.
you also visited a leprosy center,
Hospital. Mm.
abandoned one, and that was pretty sad to me.
Yeah, actually, many people get preoccupied with it being creepy and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
predominantly, the sentiment I felt was actually sadness, a heavy sadness,
Because
because
because as you were saying, in your episode that they were surprised that you guys were there. They were wondering what you guys were doing. It's as though you are just intruding into the space, and it's been a while. It seemed like it's been a while since anyone actually went in,
mhm. Yes, because
right?
because this hospital, okay, it was what it was built. It was in the 1920s, and at that time, there was no cure for leprosy, and so people who were suffering from leprosy were just left there literally so it is natural that when you're left there to die and you have a ill disease, um, there's a lot of grasping at that moment, and you can actually feel it. It was actually, yeah, sad, very heavy. Mm.
But I'm actually I was very glad that you guys actually went to make offerings,
Mm.
to them.
And offer prayers too.
So that was good. Okay,
Mm.
so now today you're going to be showing part two.
Yeah.
Tell us what part two is going to be about.
Why don't we watch it? Then I'll remember as well.
Okay, so let's watch this part two of where we left off. All right,
Yes.
here we go.
In the previous episode, we went to an abandoned hospital with Xiao Na, a medium who can see beyond what we can't see with our naked eyes. Xiao Na saw many wandering souls who were in distress, and with the advice of her master, she offered blessed water to temporarily ease their pain. Despite that, some of the spirits were not happy with our presence.
I find over here it is a place or a bed that they use to wash the patients. 我就看到一个
I saw someone sitting at the edge here, swinging her legs. She turned her head and looked at me like this.
他的情绪
She looked a little annoyed, like saying, "Why do you come here?"
to us it's just merely water. But for these spirits here that have been suffering for years and in pain, it is a relief. This looks as though it's the previously a surgery room.
We do not need to go in. She is already standing here at the glass panel. Her face is glowing in green. As I'm talking now, I have goosebumps on my whole body even though I'm wearing clothes that are quite thick. We need to go now because she wants to come out and stares at us.
The general response of these unknown beings that dwell here are exactly like this place, a feeling of abandonment. This is probably because they didn't have a proper farewell when they died. Therefore, some of them are offended, but some of them seem to be curious about our presence. Before we left, Xiao Na heard requests from some asking us to leave the offerings for them. Although I am unable to see or hear them, I understand their requests, which means a lot to them, because they hardly receive offerings from people. The Paranormal Zone team arranged for another medium to visit the same abandoned hospital. We would like to find out if her observations are the same with Xiao Na, or if different mediums perceive the other world differently. We're back here at the abandoned hospital. What we are doing here now is we have a lady here called Amy Ye, who's also a medium. And the god in which she seeks her guidance from is Guan Yin Posat, Goddess of Mercy. When I had explained to her my experience here with Xiao Na, she had told me that she had a similar feeling. And last night, she had made preparations because the Guan Yin Posat spoke to her to make preparations to make offerings here.
I wish you well. Do not be afraid. Please go back to where you belong. Free yourself from the circle of suffering.
We didn't go into the hospital for the second time out of respect. Being with mediums like Xiao Na and Amy gave me more understanding of the importance of respect to the unseen. That they are not an object for our adventure or entertainment. I do wonder how it is having a life as a medium. Can they differentiate which world they are seeing? Therefore, I want to understand Amy more.
When I was young, I realized that I was different from others. I could see things in another world and knew things that people didn't know. I thought I was abnormal. I went to see a doctor. The doctor explained to me that from the medical point of view, no human being would be able to see the other world. When I was in my 30s, my mom was injured in a major car accident. It was then I vowed to accept myself as someone with special ability and that I must use this ability to help others.
What is your specialty, so to speak?
I have the gift of premonition, knowing what may happen in the future. I can also see your magnetic field and also see some images reflected from your brain, allowing me to know what had happened and what may happen to you.
Have you helped people that are possessed by spirits?
Yes, I will use the knowledge that I have to talk to them, advise them to let go of their attachment. I will not harm them because all sentient beings are equal.
Would you be open to perhaps work with a doctor or a professor who could perhaps give you a more scientific explanation to your gift?
Yes, I would, because I am very curious too.
3 years ago, I was serving my paramilitary service. I was assigned to a case to look for a body of a person who was swept away by a strong wave while fishing. My mother was a medium. I remembered I called her early in the morning and asked for her help. She told me the body was behind me towards my left. I looked at the direction, and it was the shore, and for me, it was impossible that the body was there. We couldn't see it either. In the evening during the low tide, we finally found the body. It was trapped in between big rocks along the shore and at the exact location my mother had told me.
There seems to be mediums everywhere. After coming to Taiwan, I realized that mediums exist in abundance. I have met many mediums other than in Taiwan, and I'm now wanting to explore the scientific, the psychology behind a medium. I had the pleasure of meeting Professor Lisa Chen, the former president of National Taiwan University, who is also one of the pioneering researchers on parapsychology in Taiwan. He has been involved in parapsychology research for 27 years, a field of study concerning the investigation of paranormal and psychic phenomena. One of your principles is that you do not need to be a medium or religious in order to connect with the other world.
Exactly. The phenomenon called the ear reading or finger reading, it was discovered in mainland China in 1979. I tried to prove it because scientific things have to be reproduced in different laboratory by different testers, different participants. So I started experiments in finger reading camp up to the 2004. I opened about 9-year courses. Over 173 children participate the camp. Almost 25% of the children develop this ability. Among them, about 20% actually go into very high level capability. In addition to the finger reading, some children start to develop psychokinesis. A further step, we print words, numbers on piece of papers like this. We put into a camera bag, 100% light proof inside the bag. And they hold the sample just like this. Then they open a third eye. They have to tell the tester everything they saw. Then we open the zipper, take out the sample to compare.
It is interesting to know that everyone has the potential to develop psychic capabilities. I am now in Xuanzhuang University with Professor Zhang, who is a doctor of philosophy in religious studies. Professor Zhang has done extensive research in parapsychology. I have also met Professor Li, who specializes in experimental and cognitive psychology. Both professors agree that seeing things beyond the physical world is not a malfunction of the brain. It is when human senses are fully developed that they can connect with the other world. We have planned a test for Amy Ye, the medium we met earlier. What kind of test or measurements can a person do, and how will it work?
These are the traditional ESP cards. There are 5 designs. I will pick a card, and the participant will need to tell me what's on the card. We want to understand if she knows the answer by sheer instinct, through clairvoyance, precognition, or telepathy.
Professor Zhang, how would you differentiate whether it is instinct, thought? How would you be able to distinguish which transmission is happening?
This is the main point. She has to tell me how she gets the answer. For example, by seeing a vision, hearing sounds, or through touch. At the same time, we will analyze her brain wave and also to see if her answer is correct.
四方框.
It's a square.
When you are doing this, what are we expecting to see from the brainwave charts?
For the past 20 years, we tested mainly on alpha waves in our experiments. We have found that if the answers are correct, it is connected to the alpha wave.
Brainwave research is complicated and there are many methods of analysis. Analyzing the alpha wave is one of them. As what Professor Zhang has explained, the width of the alpha wave gives different explanations. For example, when you are concentrating or feeling sleepy, the alpha wave width at the back of your brain will increase.
She got the image correctly. I had seen a square, and taking the breathing method that Professor Zhang told me, which is to inhale and hold the image in my head while holding my breath to project it to her. So that's what we did, and she got the image right. So we're going to try it again.
During the second test, Amy felt there was something on her right suppressing her. She explained that something was blocking her and she felt dizzy. After taking a break, Amy continued, but she got only a few answers correct.
Let's look at Amy's data. We break these two sections and analyze the band power. The horizontal axis represents different kinds of waves. The vertical axis indicates the strength. No matter in what position, such as F1 is the forehead, F2, C1, C2, all 8 positions, there are no difference, and we are unable to see a stable alpha wave. However, from the statistics, she could get 2 out of 6 answers correct. It's higher than random guessing. I don't think she's just guessing. I think one possibility is Amy was not familiar with how the test was conducted and also due to the environment of the lab.
Through our experience, we find that subjects usually would answer correctly at the beginning of the test. You see, during the telepathy session, and with Li Kim sitting opposite her, she got it right the first time. When we conduct an experiment, we don't solely judge on the statistics. We need to analyze each test differently. From my experience, Amy is a case worth further research to find a better way to get more information.
Amy's ability is yet to be determined because we cannot judge her with just one type of ESP test. Nonetheless, I found that she is very sincere and serious in understanding her own ability. She has my respect as she doesn't take her gift for granted. Another medium came and saw something behind me. Stay tuned to find out more.
We will analyze her brain wave and also to see if her answer is correct.
It's a square.
How do these individuals who have nurtured their ability, how do they connect with the other world?
The first thing is they have to open their third eye. Every children will tell you there's a television screen suddenly appear in their brain. And first they saw the color, the words or picture appearing on the screen. The medium did the same thing. Once the third eye opened, they can start to go to the website, go to the other one. Yeah, because when we did the finger reading experiment, we discovered a very special phenomenon. If the words is some religious sacred words like Buddha, Bodhisattva, Jesus, Jesus. They don't see this word. They see bright screen. They see a bright person smiling at them, talking to them. The whole thing changes.
Let me clarify. For example, you give the hands are in the camera bag, and you give them a paper with the word Buddha, for example, written on it. They will not tell you Buddha. They actually start to visualize Buddha.
Yes, they start to see the bright screen, bright light. They don't see this word anymore. So we start to know this word is a web address.
In Taiwan, those who possess special abilities receive special privileges, like that of being identified as a demigod. People would offer what they could to the mediums to create miracles and fulfill their wishes. Sophia is a former medium who had the ability to communicate with the dead and also worked as a translator for the gods. But at 25, she had given up exercising her psychic gifts. Let's find out why.
I started being a medium since I was 6. There's more and more people come to me, so I run the temple since I was 15. My motivation is to try to help people, especially some people get sick or if their family pass away, and I would go to their family and try to talk to their relatives who pass away, anything they want to say to him. I thought I was doing good things. But the problem is sometimes I really receive nothing. So they say, if I say I didn't say anything, they will say, no, you have to say something. People believe you.
So the gift you had ended up being a commercial thing.
Yeah. So I think I'm not really helping people. That's why I quit.
Although she has not been a medium for 10 years, Sophia still possesses the ability to communicate with beings from the other realms. But she does not exploit this ability anymore. She prefers to leave the past in the past. However, she agrees that people with special gifts do not need to use them for personal gains and to receive special treatments. Instead, they should channel them in a right way to educate the public. On this note, she finally agreed to participate in our program.
我们等一下呢 Later, we will conduct a test on the brainwave of your different types of mental state.
When I try to see you, and I feel like somebody, try to twist my muscle and try to force me to open my eyes. I ask the power. I have no bad meaning, This is a test. And when I relax, a blue light in front of my right side, actually it is behind your left side. Something like a very fat person on lotus. And I'm not so sure if I saw a lion because
A lion?
Yeah. When I try to see you and I ask your protector, say, anything you want to tell to her, and he say, it's not necessary because you have your master will tell you directly. I say, okay. I just try to help. That's fun.
Yeah, that's actually very true as well.
I showed Sophia a picture of my spiritual protector, and she said that it was exactly who she saw, the protector present behind me. This is the first time a medium is able to see who protects me. Sophia has never seen him before, and she didn't know that the protector is Dorje Shukden. Even though she confirms seeing Dorje Shukden, I still do want to know more about the results of Sophia's test.
For Sophia's data, from the video we analyze her medium and conscious states. If our previous alpha wave assumption is correct, the alpha wave will go up when she is in her medium state. The alpha wave will fall when she talks to us. Normally, when a person is conscious and talking, the alpha wave is low, close to zero. But Sophia's alpha wave remains the same height for both states, when she is a medium and when she is talking. The possibility is that she was communicating with the other world while she was also communicating with us.
So what you're saying is with Sophia's alpha band, There is constant activity even when she's relaxed.
This shows that she is totally focused with complete concentration. The beta and gamma waves will be seen if she created the answers. There were no obvious readings of these two waves. This shows that Sophia didn't make up any stories, but to say what she knows after communicating with the other world.
If she's talking to a medium, she will translate it directly to speaking. It doesn't go through her cognitive process, her own personal thinking process.
She said what she knew. She didn't create the stories.
With Amy and Sophia, there was only one type of test conducted on each of them. Therefore, for a more conclusive result, various other tests are needed to cross-check and further analyze. Nonetheless, with the efforts from Professor Tang and Professor Li, we have a deeper understanding of how the brain biologically reacts to the ability of connecting to the other world.
You always mention the other world. Where it is, 2014, I published a theory, try to explain this world. We are in the real space time. That's 4 dimensional. We have a neighbor. The real universe is a complex universe. You have real plus I, imaginary. All those spirit are in this spiritual world. Once you open your third eye, you can connect to them.
Throughout this journey in Taiwan, I have experienced from hell to heaven, from ghosts to gods, and from unseen beings to brainwave machines. Mediums and scientific explanations are the guides for us to understand the other worlds. But by solely depending on them without contemplation and personal responsibility, it can become blind faith that wipes away wisdom and logical thinking. Apart from the mystical unseen world out there, please do not forget the unseen willpower and wisdom in our inner world that play an important role for us to have a better life. Like I always say, what we see may not be real, and what is real we may not see.
Hi everyone. Phng Li Kim. Yeah, wow.
Brief.
I'm actually well this part 2 is pretty interesting because you brought in some scientists. They call it what? Parapsychologists. Using
Brainwave
scientific
machines.
evidence
Right.
to actually monitor what happens in parts of the brains. And okay, well, I do have a few questions for you.
You seem to be the one asking the most questions, is it?
Now, yes. No, because it's really interesting because because when you hook on these wires onto the brain and you actually talk about this alpha wave, right? So this alpha wave, it becomes quite dominant, right?
Yes, I am.
Li Kim, are you there?
Is there? Am
You froze
am
for
I
a
okay
sec.
now?
So, yeah, having
Yes,
technical issues?
it's really
Yes.
bad.
I can see you now. Okay, so all right. So moving along. So this alpha wave is dominant when the person
Active.
is, I guess, active with the third eye, right? So it's using the third eye to communicate with the spirits, or or they're seeing certain things and all that. So that part of the brain becomes more active.
Yes.
And what's interesting is that according to Professor Nam, the first gentleman whom you interviewed, he said that this alpha wave is also dominant when the person is sleepy or sleeping,
Yes. Yes.
right? Did he elaborate why?
to be really honest, when I did this episode, I was myself extremely bewildered because it was the first time that we actually brought in science and professors. We're not talking about your neighborhood lecturer or your neighborhood tuition teacher. We're talking about professors who study the mind. So quite a number of explanations sometimes just flew by me. But basically, when I was listening to the explanation of the alpha wave and how it is active when a medium is connecting with the deities or even spirits, how when he mentioned that it's also active when we're sleeping, he didn't really elaborate very much in private, but what I understood was the mind needs to be at a certain state whereby it can connect. For example, for your third eye to open, you can't be in like a random chaotic state of mind for the third eye to kind of open and be accurate. And also, when he mentioned that when you're sleeping, it's also active, it made me think of why we have, some of us have some pretty bad dreams like nightmares. I think that the alpha wave being active in a sleeping state is also one of the reasons why perhaps we have dreams.
I think that's a possibility because based on my personal experience, I am more sensitive when I'm trying to sleep. Like especially when I'm about to doze off into sleep. That moment, if there's something around me, it is much clearer. I mean, I've known that all along, but I was just interested because he's talking science now. He's identifying that it's the alpha. So, so I don't quite understand that, but maybe you see, because
that also
what I understand is this. You see, what I understand is this because because before we fall asleep, we're almost like in a meditative state. So, we're not distracted. Our mind is very calm, and when that happens, our awareness heightens. That's how I interpret it. I mean, I don't know about this alpha wave and you even have a gamma wave and all that later on. But how I understood is because I don't have all these distractions. So when I'm very calm, my senses are heightened. So and even when I meditate, that happens as well. And as such, I can actually sense more and I can actually see better when I calm myself. So I guess, right? So, so if I put my experience on what the professor just said, perhaps when we calm our mind, then that's where the alpha wave kicks in. Is that what happens?
Yes, correct. And that same alpha wave is also the alpha wave that makes your meditation more effective in terms of visualization and such. It is the same, it's the same brain. It's just that some of it is activated by seeing spirits. When the alpha wave is active, it's about seeing spirits. Some of it is activated by nightmares or dreams, which is why sometimes you have psychics who have their visions when they're sleeping. And then you have also the people whom their experiences, especially if they're sensitive like you, their experiences could be at the state before they fall into deep sleep or in their dreams. So similarly, if the brain has this alpha wave which activates with the third eye, it will also be the same alpha wave that becomes active when one is in meditation state.
Then Professor Lee, this other professor whom you interviewed, he said that the child must first open the third eye. Did he elaborate how they would actually get the child to open the third eye?
No, he didn't elaborate per se in terms of a lecture how to open the third eye, but they do have these how to say, when a child or a person realizes, like Amy realized she had this ability. I mean, she couldn't put her finger on it, but when she realized this young, she explored it, and she opened her third eye, so to speak. Just the same thing with Xiao Na, but Xiao Na comes from a generations of mediums, so they probably knew how to open the third eye. But based on what I gathered about opening the third eye, it's not something you do like switching on a television with a remote control. Opening the third eye is a very controlled state. One should not simply open the third eye just for the sake of, like I said at the end of the show, for entertainment purposes. Yeah. So it has to be a controlled state in the sense that you have a credible, reliable master who assists you in opening the third eye.
Okay, so I guess they did not elaborate to you how to open a third eye, because I'm sure there are many people out there who are like, hey, I would like to open my my third eye. So how do you do that?
Yeah, which is probably why I didn't want to elaborate and find out how to open the third eye, because I might end up opening 10 eyes inside my head. Yeah.
All right. Because there are ways, but it's not.
Yeah, there are ways.
There are. I know a way. I was taught a way when I was doing my
Let's not even go there.
the energy healing, and the energy healer taught me how to open it even wider and really see what's out there. So I did it.
You had 8K you had 8K vision before TV had 8K.
So I did that, and then there are ways to close it as well. And you can actually do that for all your chakras. How to open it, cleanse it, close it, and there is a technique. But then again, like you say, it's not advisable, because I did that out of curiosity, and then got me into trouble with all these spirit disturbances and all that. So curiosity did kill the cat in this. So thank goodness Rinpoche helped me to cleanse it and and purify it. Okay, before we continue, there are some questions from the audience. And Audrey. Hi, Audrey. Let's see. This is my cousin in Singapore. Why would you want to open a third eye? Because I was curious, Audrey. I was curious. Not that my third eye wasn't open. I just want to have a better
are you saying
better look. I just want to have more clarity with what I see.
So Audrey's your cousin? I think she's trying to understand why you've been like that.
This weirdo, right? Yes. Yeah. I'm just one of the weird ones in the family. So no, because I'm very curious by nature. So I was wondering, since I see it already, why don't I just open it further and have a much clearer vision of what I'm seeing? Or am I really hallucinating, So
I agree with you, Audrey. Yes, he should just wear glasses, which he is already wearing right now.
I'm not. That's why I can see better. I'm not wearing glasses.
Don't you? Oh, but you do for reading now, huh? Okay. Anyways, never mind. Let's not talk about that.
Wait. Before that, speaking of wanting to open a third eye, actually, Audrey's brother asked me once to ask Rinpoche, how do I open my third eye? So why don't you ask your brother, Audrey? Why would he want to open a third eye? Yeah, why is that? I think it's usually just out of curiosity, but it's really no fun. Even you, well, you see, she's asking me that question because she has a third eye. She has a natural third eye that's opened, and she freaks out. So to her, it's bewildering why anyone would open a third eye. I think that's why she's asking that. It's true. It's true. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's because they know when your third eye is open, they know, and they keep, you know, they keep coming to you and trying to get your attention.
Attention. Mm.
True. Yeah. Do we have any more questions? It's not appearing on my Facebook. I don't know why.
I give up. My internet really sucks tonight.
Oh, Audrey says because he can't see. No, he did see something, Audrey, when your brother was meditating. Okay, this is just sidetrack. When he was meditating, this is in Hong Kong, yeah, because his apartment faces the hill on the old Peak Road, so it faces a hill, and it was very interesting. He told me that, well, actually, her mother told me that the brother, my aunt told me that the son sees a silhouette of a person in meditation. So you only see a white image, but you see a silhouette on the mountain of this, and you see a person's head like this, and you see the body, you know, in lotus position. And Li Kim, are you there?
Yes, I went to switch on the light. It was getting a bit dark, and then we're talking about you. I was getting scared. I thought,
Did you feel something?
Did
Did you feel something just now?
No lah.
Did you feel something just now?
No.
I saw something behind you just now. I just didn't
Oh
want to say it.
yeah.
No, I'm serious. I thought you felt something. That's why you turn on the lights. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, any one of you. I mean, I hope I'm not hallucinating again, but there was something behind you. On your which side? Yeah, that side. Not there, but the other side. Just now. Just now, I was wondering whether or not. No,
This side?
opposite side.
This side?
Behind you, yeah. Just now.
Was it my son?
No. I thought you felt something. That's why you stood up to do something.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm not sensitive as long as I'm not filming, so it's a very controlled third eye.
I thought you freaked out. That's why I was like, Kim, are you there? And you know, and any one of you who's actually watching now, if you did see something like how I just saw, you know, let's share on the comment section. Anyways, I was saying, look, so I asked Audrey's brother, my other cousin, why don't you take a picture of it if you can? And guess what? So when he was meditating, because he meditates every morning to lower his blood pressure. That's why he does it. And he did take a picture, and he actually WhatsApped me the picture. He WhatsApped to me, and you see a person in meditation position, and I showed that to Rinpoche because I was curious. And Rinpoche said, "Oh yeah, there is a local deity that resides in the mountain, and he is meditating, and he's trying to get your cousin's attention, but he's harmless, so nothing to worry about." So so Audrey, so he can see only when he meditates, and he wants to see more. But Rinpoche said, sorry?
Which then links to again the explanation on the alpha ray being
When you
active.
meditate.
Yes, correct.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that was just a sidetrack. There are questions coming from the audio. Okay, so any more questions? What's the next question here?
Can you close your third eye, I think?
Hi, Christina. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Yes, you can close your third eye. You can close it. There are ways to close it. The only way that I know how to close it is using the energy healing way. Yeah, there are Buddhist rituals that you can do to permanently close it, or because once you permanently close it, that's it, and you cannot reverse it if you do it the Buddhist way. Okay, so moving along. Oh, Caroline, how do they sense you? By frequency or they can see your aura? What's your
Frequent.
take on that? Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Frequency.
We're losing you again, Li Kim.
Okay.
Sorry. Can you just repeat that? Yes. Now we can hear you.
Okay. When it comes to frequency, it's like a bandwidth. They can connect or sense you from there. They also can sense you from your aura, because aura exudes a certain energy, which then also can relate to, so to speak, frequency. So yes, it is the things you don't really see. They can't sense you by the way you dress or anything like that.
Yes. And some of these spirits can read your mind. So if you do see them or you sense them, they actually pick that up in your mind. And because they are very some are very lonely, so that's the way that they would just come to you and try to get your attention. Hopefully
Yes.
and that's usually the case.
Yep.
Okay, do we have any more questions?
And if many people have asked me, how do you protect yourself? I mean, of course, I practice Dorje Shugden and I had Rinpoche, so my protection was a done deal, But I guess generally, if let's say, for example, you're not particularly strong in any faith, your best protection against spirit actually is faith, religion, or spirituality. However, many of us may not be so to speak, holy schmoly kind of thing. So I would say that one of the best ways to protect yourself is actually a positive mind. And a positive mind will include a knowledgeable mind, and also a strong mind, and a mind that's not filled with fear. Because fear is one of the things that they will smell out very quickly and come and get your attention. Okay, and when I say, which then brings me back to the original purpose of my show, which was always to provide information and knowledge to gain so that the audience gains knowledge, and from that knowledge eliminate or reduce the fear factor of what we cannot see, and the supernatural and the paranormal. So a positive mind, not filled with negative thoughts and fear, is one of your best, so to speak, non-religious protection.
Yeah. There are actually some questions from Christina. Oh, Kirsten first. Hi, Kirsten. What about those that can feel and not see? Is it the frequency too? What's your take on that?
Yeah, it is. The frequency is present, whether you see or you hear, you smell or you sense and don't see. That is the ability within your own physical ability. And of course, there are people who get special training and everything. But yes, most people will come with a certain sense that's stronger than the rest, other senses. For example, those who can see may not be so sharp to hear, an example, and those who have a very sharp nose can have a tendency to be able to pick up different smells, but then they can't see or hear. Something along these lines. Even certain mediums, they are sharper with certain senses and less sharp on some senses.
Yeah. And I think there's another question. Christina said, born with it,
Born with.
or some born with the third eye, or some developed as they get older. She's referring to the third eye. Well, some people are born with it. Some people
Yeah, yeah.
start very young, and some are born with it and don't even realize it. That's what I have also heard. There are people, like when they were kids, I mean, especially kids. Especially kids, I think many kids are very susceptible to spirit disturbance because I always hear, when I was even when I was a kid, and even when my sister was a kid, my mom said that there was like for my sister, when my parents were in Taiwan, my sister would always at a certain time, and she said it's around 6 7 p.m. She would always point to the wall where the staircase is, and she would tell my mom, "There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people there," and every day. So when she heard that, I think she wrote to her mother, my grandmother, back in Malaysia. And what my grandmother did was she sent to my mom a coconut shell bangle. Because apparently, when you wear that, it stops the child from seeing. Um,
Oh.
that's why I'm not sure if you notice, a lot of children wear this coconut shell bangles. It's a brown color bangle. Yeah. Yeah, and kids wear that. So my mom said that as soon as my sister wore that, she stopped crying and she stopped pointing fingers. And for me, when I was, I think very young, either a few months old or like just a toddler, 1 or 2 years old, again, when it's around like 6 7 p.m., I would just cry and cry and cry and cry. And my aunt used to take care of me. And what she did was, I mean, these are like, what
Oh, foxtail.
the other people would do. My mom said that she took my shirt that I wore and went to an intersection down the road, and she would call out my name and wave the shirt and call out my name. And when my mom told that, I remember like, oh, that's pretty weird. And I thought that, maybe it's just a that's what by tradition or whatever. But apparently it
I've
worked.
never heard
So
of
ever
it.
since, so
They were throwing you
it,
away to the winds.
so I think it's
Bye
like a
bye,
Taoist.
JP. Bye bye.
It's like a Taoist way or something because my aunt is Taoist, so she was told to like wave my shirt at the intersection and to call out my name. And somehow I think it is to distract the spirits, and the spirit will kind of follow my scent in the wind somewhere and just go somewhere perhaps. But you see, but the interesting is it works. So yeah, so anyway, as kids, yeah, I have many friends who kids will actually, in the crib will look out, and it's as though like they're playing with someone. That's what they used to tell me. And they asked me, so what should I do? So I said, well, either you put an amulet. Well, it depends on what religion you're in. I mean, if you're a Christian, perhaps put a cross there or some blessed water. If you're Buddhist, you can always have a protection amulet for your child to wear. Or if you have a Buddha statue that's consecrated, put it next to your with your child, and that works. Okay, so yeah, so moving along. I mean, like all these
I
memories
just
start to
I
come
just
out.
had this funniest
Huh?
idea. We
What's
maybe
that?
if you the next time you complain that you're not well, I'll just make you a coconut husk hat, like a helmet. Just put it on your head and get those alpha waves under control.
Oh man, yeah, interesting, right? I still can't figure out what's the deal with the coconut shell. It's not a husk. It's a coconut shell. that hard shell. I'm sure a lot of Malaysians here and Singaporeans will actually relate to that. Somehow it worked.
Mhm.
I don't know. See, I forgot to ask Rimiji that question. It's like, why coconut shell? How is it a protection? Well, if any one of you know the answer, do share with us at the comment section. Okay. Let me see what's next. So, and what's interesting is what Professor Lee said. Yeah, that when they were doing their experiment, and when they put words like Buddha, Bodhisattva, Jesus into that bag, instead of the child seeing the word, they actually see the image
Or the light.
or a light, a very bright light. Did he elaborate more on that when you were interviewing? But
It's
he
just
did. But
it's just like a fact, because how he calls it the World Wide Web. He calls it, it's like a, yeah, I was like, what? when we were filming, I was like, huh? He says it's like a website. So these kids, or if you ask a medium who has their third eye open and all and trained, when they don't see a higher being or a spirit like the way we have Ghost or Casper the Friendly Ghost, they actually see it. The whole thing translates in their head, and it's visual. It is visual.
it's
Either
visual.
it's visual
But
by
it's
image,
only
by shape, or by light.
but it's only for words related to
Religious,
holy
yeah,
religious
spiritual
beings,
things, yeah.
right? But if it is like an orange, they will actually spell out the word orange, right? Like if they wrote orange or apple.
No,
Did
I mean, I did
did
not
he
get
say
so.
that?
I didn't ask such a frivolous question, lah. I
I mean,
mean,
like, what was the experiment? Other than these holy beings' words, were there other words that they wrote? And
no, I
if so,
mean,
what did they
ob-
elaborate?
obviously the professor is answering in context to the show. Okay, so the show is about mediums and crossing to the other side. So the other side meaning higher beings, the gods, the god realms, or the spirit realms, right? So in terms of the mind of the mediums that have their third eye activated,
Mhm.
when they are in contact with holy things, holy items, or holy deities, they don't see it literally like how we lay people see the word. They actually visualize it. That's because it's their relationship or their connection as a medium with the deity is stronger than a regular Joe on the streets. So they will immediately, the word is translated immediately to visuals, which takes them to a deeper level of connection.
Okay.
That's why they can be mediums, and they can be the conduit to connect a lay person to understand the other world. They can communicate, they can translate for a lay person what a deity may be saying or communicating. It's because
Okay.
their connection is deeper, and therefore it's a visual. They
A
see
visual.
it visually as opposed to very basic words like how we
Thoughts.
yeah.
No, some I know come in thoughts,
Mm.
where people connect and and it comes in as a thought, like as a message, and some come in as visual. But what is interesting is I found very interesting is when it was a holy being,
Yes. Yes.
they there was a visual of bright
Mm.
light. Why
Mhm.
not a red light? Why not a green light? But why bright light? And that's interesting because that's predominant, that is prevalent, regardless of what religion
Yes.
subscribe to, right?
Yes.
So and that is what people experience or what people perceive,
Mm.
regardless of what religion you subscribe to. And that was very interesting. So when I heard that, I was like, wow, we'll see, because just like gravity, like how our teacher always says, whether you believe it or not, there's gravity. It doesn't take a religion to believe in it. It's just that the religion, that the founder of the religion says that, oh, by the way, this is how the universe works, and there's gravity, and holy beings have this golden bright aura. So and they say this because they perceive these phenomena as such.
And if
Yeah.
and always they say like follow the light. They don't say follow the text.
Follow the light.
And not
which
hey,
light are you
follow the signboard. When it comes to your spirituality, they say follow the light. They go to say, well, follow the signboard.
Yeah. Okay. And my last question for you is, well, before that, do we have any more questions from everyone? Any more questions? Pretty quiet today. Why is that?
You freaked everybody out by saying you saw something behind me. You're the one.
I did. You see,
go put on your
I
coconut
ignored
husk. Go put on your
I
coconut.
ignored it. But because you stood up and turned on the lights, and I was like, and I thought you felt something.
No, it was just getting a bit dark, and I was like, I better turn on the lights. Maybe there's just my
Did you feel
protection.
scared? Did
No.
you feel scared?
No.
Did you feel like a presence?
No.
Nothing?
No.
I thought you did. So I was like,
No. I just thought it was getting dark.
It was darker last week, but it didn't bother you.
I don't know why.
See?
I actually thought it was getting dark, and I just got up and switched on the light.
Meditate on it.
Yes, I'll put on the coconut shell.
Turn on your alpha wave. Turn on your alpha wave.
Yes, and I will go and put on a coconut hat.
Okay, Christina says, how does it look like what was behind Li Kim? No, it was a silhouette. It was a silhouette of a person like looking in like that over your shoulder. I mean, he was curious who, what you're doing and who you're talking to. It's just curious. And then, I just saw the face like just like on this side of you, just like, from here, like coming through like that, and then looking at me. Yep. Looking at me, like, and then as you're going on, and then the next, like, it was only for like a few seconds, and then I thought you stood up, and I was like, what's up?
You thought I was going to
okay?
Ghost busting.
No, I thought you freaked out or something.
No lah.
Anyway, so it wasn't scary. It was just a nosy spirit as usual, because spirits are very curious. They're bored. Curious, and so that's what I saw. Yes, so what was I going to say? Miss Sophia Liu saw your protector.
Yes, she's the only one I've ever interviewed in my 4 years that actually sees DS. I told Rinpoche about it.
Was she the same person who saw DS on the Ouija board?
She's the same
person,
Sophia,
right?
yes.
Oh wow, because she saw the protector when you did the Ouija board in our first episode, remember?
Yeah. I actually filmed this episode first before the Ouija board one. That's why I called her back to the Ouija board one. I thought it'd be fun.
And she saw him again on the lion.
Yep.
Interesting. And I feel it's pretty genuine because right? Because which part do you think I'm referring to?
The part when you see, I thought when she described the light, the blue light, and the sword, and like a fat monk. I was like, I was like, yeah, Then after that, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to see what she does. I mean, if she's a medium, she should be able to manage. And if she's sincere, DS will back off. and let the show begin, right? So and she was, and actually she saw DS move back, the light move back, because she had asked my permission when she was wearing all that stuff, the brainwave machine. She said, should I read, in order to activate her alpha waves for the brainwave machine to read her activities, she said, should I read your chakras? She asked me. And that's when the light came. And then she says, then after that, she told me that, then she started having a conversation with DS lah,
Okay.
And then after that, she herself decided that it was not necessary to read my chakras, because she says that she can't see. And she's not the first person. She's not the first person during my 4 years of filming who can read chakra and read light and aura and energy. She's not the first person to say that they cannot read what my aura or my energy is, because it's blocked.
Did they? Oh, it's blocked. So it's blocked by Dorje Shugden.
And Rinpoche, because Rinpoche, it really depends. Yeah. Rinpoche says that he will automatically block it if that person might, or just as a precaution for myself. So after that, during this episode of filming, she started having her own conversation with Dorje Shugden. That's when her alpha thing was like, and then she actually said, and then I think she realized that DS calmed down. She had her conversation, and then after that, she, like any medium, they would say, oh, would you like me to tell her something? And then the protector says, it's okay. If I want to tell her anything, her master will tell her. And that's when I knew it was correct, because Rinpoche would just tell me. Rinpoche would just tell me in my face. Yeah. So that was the punchline to say, perfect, it's exactly. And then only did I show her the picture of DS.
So that was the one, that line when she said that. Yeah, I truly believed in it, because it's very well. That's what Dorje Shugden will always say, because that's what the guru is. That's what the guru is for. Yeah, so I was very convinced when that was
the punchline for me.
Right? Yeah, same here. Well, that's interesting. Did Rinpoche explain to you why he would block these psychics from reading your chakras?
Because because of the nature of the show and the nature of people. No matter how much research I do, I can never prevent any hidden agendas. And there was one episode where there was someone who actually wanted to harm me, in the sense of wanting to invite spirits to disturb me so that it would look sensational for filming, so that it would make him look powerful, because I guess if I went cuckoo on screen, then they can do their do all the exorcism, but he couldn't. So that's when, and then I told Rinpoche about this. This was earlier on in season 1. And then Rinpoche says, yes, you will be tired when people actually want to break that barrier. And that's when I knew I always have a protective shield. Yeah, that's why Rinpoche always told me all my episodes, I have to tell him what's the storyline, what's the purpose, and what would I be filming, and the kind of people I'll be interviewing. So there are some episodes where Rinpoche doesn't reply after I update him on the episode summary. There's no reply, which means it's smooth sailing, it's simple. And then there are some Rinpoche that says, you do not do this part, you do not do this part.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I didn't know. I didn't know.
Because there are people, and you can't help it, they can be malicious.
Yeah, that's true. Because especially those who are supposed to be closest to you. I mean, I've heard this a lot in Chara, how when many people get into trouble with black magic, done to them, it's usually people who are close to them,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
they never even think that they would
Mm.
even do, and it's usually, for a business deal or for getting wanting to hook up with with a friend's husband or wife. I mean, it's always
Control,
people around.
control, power, and love.
Yeah, or even like like within spouses, the wife would do the love, what would they
Love
call it, a love
spell.
magic, a spell on the husband, and it's all this. So yeah, so it's pretty, it's widely practiced. That's what I'm saying. So that's why, hence the importance of some sort of protection,
Yeah.
because you never know who out there would just put a spell on you and you don't
Hmm.
even realize it. And I hear it a lot in Kachar, because, well, the nature of our place is that people always come to a temple or to a religious institution to get help, to seek for help, because the family members figure that there's something not right with this person
Yeah.
and they want to confirm. So yeah, so that's why I'm always it always comes to my attention, and it's pretty scary, because, as I say, it's usually people whom they trust the most. Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so thank you very much. We have run way past our time, but I truly enjoy it. I truly enjoyed this session. Do we have any more questions before we say goodbye? Any more questions, anyone? No? Okay, well, this is going to be the end of this special edition. So I hope that all of you enjoyed the trilogy. I'm going to call it the trilogy with and I'd like to
Piggy,
thank you. Yeah, and I'd like to thank you once again for agreeing to do this interview.
it's
Perhaps,
been fun.
yeah, right. So
Now
yeah,
I gotta go and look
so
for the friend you saw.
no, it's harmless. It's harmless. It was just very. So yeah, so that's it for this edition. All right. So thank you, Lee Kim,
My
for
pleasure. Oh yeah. Oh
joining.
wait, wait,
And
wait, wait,
wait,
wait. Hold on.
yes, what is
Before we go, something just crossed my mind. Not a spirit, okay? Um, when you were talking about how people sometimes get afflicted by black magic or the 佢哋講污糟嘢啊
yeah,
sometimes you can be affected by these dirty things or spells, and the bad ones, the bad cases, is normally done by somebody who actually deliberately wants to harm you, and has information to provide to the black magic person to harm you. But there are times when you see one when your energy level is low, you can actually, the Chinese would say 冲到. So you grace it, and then you actually get this dirty thing hanging around you simply because you are having low energy, or worse is you generating a lot of negative energy through negative thoughts, negative speech, and negative actions. So once again, I go back to the very basic. The best prevention is always a positive mind and positive behavior and positive attributes. Okay? Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in once again.
Yes, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, so look out for our future special editions. Okay, so next week we will not have any Thursday Paranormal Tales, but I think we will have one in the near future. So do look out. If you have not subscribed to our fan page, please click like, and you will get a notification when we do a promotional video to launch our next special edition. So on that note, thank you very much, and Have a great festive season for those of you who celebrated Lama Tsongkhapa Day. Happy Lama Tsongkhapa Day. And for those of you who is going to celebrate Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And if you're Jewish, Happy Hanukkah. And
To everyone, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year too. All right, so stay safe. Do practice your SOP, wear your mask, social distance, and all that. All right, so thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.